Hello, and welcome to the Restore Freedom Plan membership calculator and digital application. This video is meant to be a tool to help walk you through the different fields below to find out what your membership will be to get you 100% guarantee. A few aspects about joining the Restore Freedom Plan which should be made clear from the beginning. Every field needs to include a value. If there was no income generated from a source, you will enter 0 into the field. In general, our membership rate is calculated to be about 30% of what you would have paid if you had filed for federal income tax purposes.
You will always need to sign up for the most current filing tax year before going back to cover previous years. The only exception is if you've filed already for the current filing tax year. In this situation, you are able to sign up for the current tax year and estimate what your income will be for the year. If you are an individual with many different forms of income, have had heavy losses, or have other financial aspects the calculator does not take into consideration, please call our office and discuss with one of our staff other methods of identifying what your membership should be. You are only covered for the income you include on the application. While the numbers do not need to be exact, they need to accurate within a 1 to 3% margin. Not doing so could void your 100% guarantee if it is proven you heavily underestimated your income. The Restore Freedom Plan is a renewal program, and every year you will use this pricing calculator to resubmit your digital application and see what your membership rate will be for that year. You do lose your 100% coverage for all years if you do not remain a member of the Restore Freedom Plan. Signing the digital application is an acknowledgement that you have read through and agree with the terms and conditions of the Restore Freedom Plan. If you have not, please review those before submitting your digital application. Remember that if you have any questions or concerns, you are always able to call our office during normal business hours.
Now, let's get into the calculator itself. In the first field, which read as of December 31st you will need to pick what tax year you are signing up for. When filing for taxes, you are usually filing in the current year for the previous calendar year. Take a moment now and select the tax year you want to apply for. But remember, you will always need to sign up for the most current filing tax year before going back to cover previous years. This only exception is if you filed already for the current filing tax year. In this situation, you are able to sign up for the current tax year and estimate what your income will be for the year. You can pause the video now to fill that field in. The next field is for you to enter your marital status. First, you will select whether you are single or married. If you are married, you will then need to specify if your spouse will be joining the program or not. I'll give you a moment to do that now. The next field is the first field we have regarding income and reads Employment Income W-2. This is where you will add any gross income that you've derived through employment where you have filled out a W-4 and received a W-2. I'll give you a moment to do that now. The next field reads Net Business Profit 1099. And this field is meant for any net income derived through businesses you own or self-employment such as contract work. The total should be income received after your normal standard deductions. If you have questions about specific deduction, please refer to blog with a list of what we consider to be the most common standard deductions. If you do not see something listed, you are always welcome to call our office and ask. I'll give you a moment to do that now. The next field reads Federal taxes already paid or withheld. And this field is meant for total amounts that you may have already been paying in quarterly payments as a business owner, or income withheld from your pay through your employer for federal withholding. Please be aware that you do not include income that has been withheld for FICA tax purposes, which includes Social Security or Medicare. I'll give you a moment to do that now. The next field reads dependent children, age 16 and under. And here you will add the total amount of dependents you would normally claim if you were filing, which meet this criteria. I'll give you a moment to do that now. The next field is a yes or no question asking if you have other forms of income, such as Social Security, capital gains, money received from a 401k or IRA, and more. You should select yes, which will populate a new section on the same page to see what the other forms of income include, and can change it back to no if you do not have any. Next, we will go over the fields which populate in the other sources of income section. I'll give you a moment to do that now. The first field in this new section is in relation to investments, specifically regarding interest. Some common forms of interest include earning on savings accounts or certificate of deposits derived, commonly referred to as CDs. I'll give you a moment to do that now. The next field is for dividends and distributions. Common examples of these sources of income include shares. For the purpose of our calculator, this is also where you would include incomes derived from rental properties. I'll give you a moment to do that now. The next section is in relation to capital gains, and there are two different fields. The first is for short-term gains on items such as the sale of stocks and real estate that you've held for less than a year. The second is for the same sources, but for any of those which you've held for longer than a year. I'll give you a moment to do that now. The last section is for income sources generating from sources most often related to retirement. The first field is what you generate from Social Security for the year. I'll give you a moment to do that now. And the last field is a catch-all field for sources of income derived from IRAs, 401ks, and / or pension income. I'll give you a moment to do that now. Once you have all of those additional fields completed, you will see towards the bottom of the page your membership rate in green. And that's it. This is what your cost will be for this year to join the Restore Freedom Plan and to step out of the fraudulent federal income tax system while knowing you have a 100% guarantee from Freedom Law School. We look forward to stand side by side with you to combat the DC swamp.